You doing this kind of stuff with the transitions in your songs? Well, let's get that mix out of sweatpants, slap on the leather chaps, cause you're Kush after hours. Welcome to After Hours. My name is Gregory Scott. Tonight, I want to talk to you about leveraging the arrangement for drama and contrast. So the arrangement is inherently built in by the composer, by the songwriters, and the performance that they do. And then we as mixers get to highlight and even augment and sometimes even change the arrangement to better serve the production. So let's focus in now on the compositional things. And I'll give you a little compositional trick that you can use if you're writing the music, but also if you are mixing music that a client handed you. You can grab things and move them around, which we've all done this. We all need to do this because sometimes you get something that's just, it's not very well done, if you will. And you're like, that's not quite interesting there. We got to make this more interesting. Or sometimes the session just isn't organized and there's just stuff floating around, random things. You're like, what is this? Where does this belong? It's like they didn't make strong choices. They just laid down a bunch of ideas for a section. And we're like, there we go. There's my 16 sounds for this verse. As a composer, I like for old sounds to go and new sounds to come in pairs. Anytime you have a transition happening, whether it's from a verse to a pre-chorus, or chorus to a middle eight, anything like that, you want to have two sounds or four sounds going. They go away. Now, sometimes they end before the transition happens. Sometimes they ring out after the transition happens. But the point is they don't carry through musically and become a part of the next section in a sustained fashion. So often what will happen is, and even in a simple rock band where there's just drums, bass, guitar, and voice, you'll hear the guitar playing and the bass and the drummers playing, and then the intro's over and he hits the crash cymbal and then the vocal comes in, but nothing else changed. The drummer changed from the ride to the hi-hat and the vocal came in, but that's not a pair of things coming and going. That's just one thing going and one thing coming. It's not that interesting. Even if the guitar player kind of changes his rhythm up, it's just still not the same. So what you would want to do there, if you're the composer, is you'd want to double or triple the guitars or have a different, strum an acoustic guitar if that fits the genre, or like just a synth pad or a piano, some other kind of a sound that lives in the intro. And then when the drummer hits that crash and the verse kicks in, that ancillary sound in the intro goes away. Now you got two things going away. The hi-hat come in and the vocal come in. Now you've got a meaningful shift. You will feel that as a listener. You'll be like, okay, I'm in a new section now. So those are the kinds of structural things that you can do as a composer. Very, very basic, very open-ended. You could do almost anything in terms of what comes and what goes. But for my money, what's really important is that at least two, if not three or four things for the most dramatic transitions go. And nothing comes in, like things just go away and you're left with whatever was happening in the section before that didn't go away. It's a really powerful way to go. Or two things come in, or four things come in. Four things going and four things coming in is that's just a massive shift in the landscape of the song. It's a really, really powerful, dramatic thing to do. That can be really effective for going from a chorus to a bridge. A lot of times you'll hear that where all this stuff changes. We notice that stuff. So do this stuff. As a composer, subscribe to the rule of pairs and always have things coming or going in pairs. And the more drama you want, multiply that out. Four things coming, four things going. And then as a mixer, leverage all of those different elements to come and go in different ways, spatially, height-wise, and depth-wise. Keep that listener engaged, tip to tail.